So in the previous episode of Mobile Suit Gundam, the Witch from Mercury, quite the amount of things happen, a lot of theories are floating around. We've learned that if Suletta is singing happy birthday to you, then that's most likely a death flag, so you probably should get far as, I would say get as far away as her as possible, but honestly, if she hits the radio, you're probably as good as dead. We've also learned that it's been about 21 years from Belmaria, who I assume was with Prospera during the time of Ox Earth and all that. And then we saw those quote-unquote children and how Suletta calls her little drones everyone, although Prospera herself says that they're not particularly drones. And then the whole, like, oh, there's no children on Mercury and whatever, and it's just a lot of things that I generally don't really care much about at the current moment. It's not really something that I'm interested in. I'm just keeping an eye on the theory because a lot of people are talking about it, but in general, I don't really care much about it. But here in this episode with the title Shall We Gundam, and from what I see in the thumbnail, I assume we're having a nice little ball. We're gonna see the aftermath of Elan not coming to see Suletta, so if they are going to show us that, or they're just gonna, you know, skip on over to it. But we'll see how it goes. But all I know about this episode is even before it came out, there's just so many freaking Yuri art about it. But anyways, I do have my full-length reactions up on Patreon, which you guys can check out in the description down below. Other than that, let's get started. Oh, a Farah? Nani? Okay, so the two groups are what Elan has up his sleeves. Okay. What is the group that Shattuck's in again? I never learn. I haven't heard this in like 2 weeks. I don't know. If I don't see it in this episode, somebody please write in the comment what the heck this group is. I've never written it. Nor did I write Shattuck's last name, I don't think. Tomatoes? Okay. He hasn't been to school. Alright. No, he got blasted. Never. I'll say that to episode 1, but alright. Sorry, not episode 1, episode 2. Incubation party. That sounds pretty sus. Well, if you say 3 branches, then like Elan might be going. What if real Elan comes? What is this, an expo? Wow! Oh, so it is like an expo. If we don't find him, we're out of here. Who's watching? God, look at him. So fucking... Yeah, so real Elan has to come out. Yeah, fuck this guy. I wonder why, huh? Saudi are tossing this girl under the bus. Oh my god. Too bad. It's my bride. Oh damn, I need some quiet time with Miorine. Damn, dude, going straight into family talk. Hmm. Mmm. Mm-hmm. Oh my god, Suletta, what were you doing? Oh, you can't be thinking that. Suletta. Oh, there's Elan. Whoa there, is this man smiling? Oh my god, Dylan, I haven't seen you in years. Oh my god. Dude, everybody got fucking plans for Dylan. Oh! Meat. Fine dining. What are you looking for, Nika? Hmm? Yeah, once I clone somebody else. Once I find another clone. Once I find someone else to put my face on. Yeah, it's a good thing that you did it after he had his, God. Oh my god, this Suletta just got dragged into this. Good job, Suletta. Oh, sick. Oh. Oh my god, they're finishing each other's sentences. Oh my god. Oh my god, Suletta. Oh my god, Suletta. Uh-oh. Suletta, please. Oh my god, dude, there's an even taller podium. Dude, they really got the fucking red lighting on her. Oh my god, all these fucking platforms. We may have committed a crime, but she admitted to nothing. Dissolve. Oh. Oh my god, he's bringing Prospera out. Prospera's like, I'm out of here, see you later. Oh, so... Oh. Oh, here comes Miorine again. Oh, here she comes. Despite her saying she doesn't care about people's issues. Oh, she's still alive, ain't she? Well, somebody has to take a first step, but... Thanks, Dad. I like that people can just connect to the microphone on their phone. I love that he walked down the stairs just to go up another. Wow. 3%. I'm like, wow, since the president did this, might as well. This is like an expo and a GoFundMe at the same time. Or is it like a Shark Tank, actually? This guy in his fucking hair. Wow. Oh? Oh? Peace. Oh my god. What will this truth do to her now? Just casually drops that in with a fucking peace sign? You know, expected some sort of dance, but I guess we've just got business instead. Oh my god. So all three groups were in cahoots with each other, essentially. Alright. Their choice. Alright, alright. Ooh, it's a nice picture. But alright, we're gonna, well, I'm gonna write some notes, and then I'll be back to the center. Alright, so that was episode 7 of Mobile Suit Gundam, The Witch from Mercury. Let me know what you guys think about it in the comments down below. You know that I always like talking to you guys, unless you're here to tell me more about the theory that I was mentioning in the beginning, to which I will be honest with you, it will go through one ear and out the other. I'm just gonna block it away from my memory for now. Until it comes back right in my face in the anime, and I can't block it away anymore. But until then, as long as it doesn't happen, going through one ear and out the other. So I'd rather if you guys just talk to me about what's happening in this episode. To which, okay, so I don't know why I was gonna talk about Dylan first. The first thing in my mind is just Dylan's back after so many years. Dylan's really is the father who went to get milk and then he's just never come back until now. But it was, again, we continue to see that these companies are essentially fighting Dylan, you know, he's the president and all that, you know, and we see the Jeturks, Vim Jeturk was going to frickin' blow Dylan up, and now here we have the three groups all together. I still don't know what is the group that Shaddix is again. I swear I've written it somewhere, I just didn't write it on my Grassley defense system. That's what it is, the Grassley defense system. Okay, I just have to say the Grassley. Alright, I've gotten the name, no need to comment about it. So anyways, the three groups it seems, although in the beginning I thought it was just the two groups, the Grassley and the Pale Technology, but I assumed the Jeturks were there as well, I guess, since there was a third person in I say third person, is it because I've combined everybody at Pale Technology as one. I mean, they were literally finishing each other's sentences, so so they're one entity. They've all have been linked with each other. But from what it seems, the Jeturks were also a part of it, because it seems like they had a plan to stall Prospera as the whole outing was happening with Suletta. Anyways, I'm just trying to say that Dylan's got a lot of people ready to stab his frickin' back, and he's just, I don't know, is he none the wiser, or does he actually know what's going on? I feel like it's sort of the first at the current moment, but it was nice to see him giving some sort of leeway, you know, a little room for, what is it, for Miorine, there you go, which kind of goes back to that conversation that Miorine and Prospera had, which I wrote in my notes saying Prospera and Miorine have a chat like a parent would to their kid's girlfriend slash boyfriend. Yeah. Ah, so I see. So you're the fucking bride, huh? You're the one who's going to have to take care of Suletta later on. You know, how towards the end, Prospera is like, well, you know, now I see that what you've got. I'm fine with you taking care of my kid now. But I thought it was an interesting talk, other than the sinister music that was going on, and how Prospera was like, "Oh, tell me about your dad. I thought that with this man who's had all these accomplishments, you think that he'd be a good father, but it seems like you've got a problem with this man." And so Miorine talks about how, you know, the man never really listens to her, and especially that one time at the funeral where she did say that she couldn't even attend her mother's funeral and all that. But Prospera and how she feels like, and how Miorine essentially feels like she's being controlled. I just want to take a look at this again. Hold on. So, has it always been that way between you and your father? You know, Prospera really had to like cock her head just to look a little bit more intimidating. Should I get along with the bride's family? So then that's glory in the past. So what she says, our generation, what's so unforgivable about him, right? He always looks down on me and makes decisions without consulting me. That day, don't you think he was being unreasonable too? But most of all, and then we goes into this the death of her mother. So she didn't want to say that, but she was thinking about it. So I will never accept a man like that as my father. And so Prospera goes and counters that, saying like, well, you say all this, but at the same time, you've got all of these privileges because of your father. You know, you get to stay in the chairman's office because of your father. So she says that beautiful dress, the high heels and accessories you're wearing, that you can live in the chairman's office rather than a house, the respect you receive from others. When I remember all of that, is because of your father. You know, your father is the president of the Benedict Group, and somehow it strikes me as funny. So it's so that essentially, you know, Prospera is just out here like, yo, dog, you fucking talk shit on your dad, but you're still using his status. Which is just a nice little, what is it? A nice little awakening for Miorine, for her to like, oh yeah, you're fucking right. And in the end, you know, Prospera says you should probably throw that pride away. So it was very nice, and with that speech, Miorine has come to realize something at the current, you know, she says it's not pride, but she takes off her heels and she runs up to her father and she just asks him. He's like, hey yo, you're right, I don't have any credibility, so why don't you let me borrow some of yours, and you know, we'll fucking see how it goes. You know, initially I was thinking, oh, Dellen's probably just gonna walk past, but I didn't know where that branch was going to take us, so then I kind of went back to like, oh, he has to probably give some sort of money and then, you know, help fund it and all that. So it's interesting to see that Dellen decided to help his daughter out, you know, even though he might not be too approving of this, because he's like, you don't understand the heavy burden of a Gundam's curse. So, but he ends up doing it anyways to his daughter, and as what Shadding's dad said, he's like, well, it seems like you're accepting of a Gundam now. So it's an interesting, well, I mean, okay. So it's an interesting development for Dellen, even though we don't really see all that much of him. You know, he was just really here to watch. But I really like that. You know, it just shows how dare they trying to get me to feel something for Dellen, the son of a bitch. How dare you try to do this, alright? I was fine with you doing that to Ghoul, but you're trying to do that to Dellen? We can't be having this. How dare he be a really strict and controlling father, but he has some sort of speck of care for his daughter. How dare you? I do wonder what Miorine will think after this party about Prospera, because it kind of feels like, you know, Prospera is putting up a front for her daughter, but here when Prospera and Miorine were talking, you know, you could see some sort of real I was gonna say realism. You know, a bit of her real self just poking out of that mask. So it'll be interesting to see if Miorine is thinking about that. But then also, I am everywhere, but it's because I'm linking everything. But it also towards the end, right, with Suletta finding out that Ariel is indeed a Gundam, and the way that her mom just casually drops it. She's just like, oh yeah, sorry, haha, Ariel's actually a Gundam this whole time, peace. It kind of makes me think like, huh, okay, that's an odd thing to say to your daughter, you know, just like, haha, I've been keeping this lie to you this whole time. It's such an odd thing, but it'll be nice to see how Suletta reacts to that in the next episode, whether she's going to feel a little sad, that she's just like, well, I thought Ariel wasn't a Gundam this whole time, but it seems like she was. What the fuck? But the fact that Prospera said it so casually like that, and then thinking back about, was it called The World's Cradle? The one that was in between the prologue and episode 1? The Cradle World, there you go. And just knowing that Prospera is making both Ariel and Suletta her weapon of revenge, you know, the vanguard of her revenge plot and all that, knowing that she has a plan for Suletta to take down Dellen, or I assume, because Dellen is the main guy who ordered the death of Oxerv and everything, or just Spatians in general. I don't know, we'll just have to see. I feel like I've completely forgot what I was going to talk about. I feel like I've lost my train of thought, but I was just going to mention that, you know, with Prospera's attitude towards Suletta during that end, it makes me think about a certain theory that I don't want to think about, but here it is, coming back into my brain. Alright, going through one ear and out the other. Alright. You know, it's a good thing that Suletta got to meet real Elan right after Elan's character development, because if the Elan that we knew got blasted, and then Suletta met the real Elan, I feel like that would have been more of a whiplash with the way that real Elan is, like, acting. You know, he's a lot more smiles, but it's like a cunning smile. And also the way that he acted on the fucking podium, like, oh my god, Suletta, you've got a Gundam? Like, it was just so fake. But like, if would Suletta even realize? I mean, she's also the freaking idiot who decided to follow Elan yet again, even though it wasn't the real Elan, but she's just so fucking gullible and so defenseless that Miorine has to just come to her help all the fucking time. To which, is that part of Prospera's plan now that I think about it? Maybe it's just an unrealized an unrealized element that is a part of Prospera's plan. But it'll be interesting to see what's going to happen once they get a new Elan, you know, get someone else and then put his face on and then ship him back to school. Because, like, if there were 3 other people before, then those Elans must have had at least acted similar to each other, or else people are just gonna be like, wow, Elan has a fucking... he's going through a different phase again, I guess, you know, it's... I don't know, we'll just have to see when that freaking happens, because real Elan just doesn't want to go out, I guess. He's just chilling somewhere in Pale Technology. And then, with a little bit of information between Nika and Shattuck, it seems like, oh my god, Nika might be giving some information to Shattuck, you know? I wrote in my notes saying, a rat? A rat? Just you wait until Choo-Choo finds out about this, Nika. Ooh. I don't know if I wrote it in my notes. I have to look at this very closely, but I'm not sure if I wrote it in my notes where, what is it? Where, did they have a talk about someone giving inside information of the Earth House before, or or is my brain just making it up at the current moment? Because when I wrote Nika is working with Shattuck and then I wrote a rat, my brain just kind of triggered. It's just like, have we had that conversation before where somebody said that somebody had inside information? I can't figure it out, but it is another way to see Nika if she is working with Shattuck and all that, and how the way that Choo-Choo puts a lot of faith into her. At first, you know, I thought maybe that's just embarrassment, or just kind of feels like, oh, you're putting me, you're giving me a little bit too much of high expectation, you know, I don't know what to do with it. And that's what I initially thought, but now with the conversation that she had with Shattuck, it kind of makes me wonder, is there some sort of guilt that's coming out of Nika? I don't know. We'll just have to see more of Nika, and also more of her and interaction between Shattuck, you know, and see what they're talking about in the sideline, you know, in the DMs or whatever. Okay, so that whole thing with Suletta being outed by Pale Technology for having like a Gundam, and Pale Technology was just gonna be like, oh yeah, you know, we've gotten rid of, we're going to get rid of the Farrak, and we're going to dissolve the development team, which I can only think they're just going to blast them like they did Elan. You know, they're like, we're going to do that, you know, we've made the Gundam, but we only made the Gundam to out this Gundam, and now we're probably not going to make another Gundam, so we're going to scrap it all away, because this was our only goal. Anyways, with them doing that, right? I couldn't get over how stupid it is with so many fucking podium, but I guess it is the future and all. We've got podiums everywhere. We've got 4 individual podium on where they're standing, and then in the podium, and then in the big middle podium, there was another one. I don't think it's a podium. I have to search up before I start spewing podium all over the place. A podium is one of those boxes that you stand behind, so I suppose it's not what I'm talking about. Although the trophy podium looks like what I wanted. Although it says podium vector art. I don't know. Anyways, I guess I'll just keep talking podium. But Anyways, yeah, they got that middle podium, and then there's another fucking one right where Suletta was standing, because of course, unless these things can also move to wherever she is, so you know, it's convenient that she was standing there specifically to just push her up even further. I'm gonna say is that I know it's space and all, but man, imagine you had a fear of heights. Holy shit. Suletta was so high up, but again, she's a pilot and all that, so you know, I don't think height is one thing that she's afraid of. I can't get over that, like, the podium that the 4 people had also went up as well, and it was supposed to be a serious situation, but I couldn't get over how stupid it was. Anyways, I assume with Miorine having to help out, Suletta once again, which I'm not sure if I mentioned this, but you know how in the beginning, Suletta asked, like, have you ever cared about somebody else before? And Miorine's like, never, even though she's done it in episode 2, and then she's now done it again. And even Shattuck was all like, hey, wow, you're actually here in the party? And she's like, I'm only here because of Suletta. And it's like, wow, you're actually here because of someone else? Well, the old you would never do this. You know, must be the magic of the Mercury in this. Still does not say her fucking name, Shattuck. Anyways. So Shattuck even points that out, and again, with Suletta being in trouble, Miorine comes to help her yet again, and she proposed that instead of dissolving them, you know, she'll buy both Shinsei and Pale's development team through M&A. I don't know what M&A is, but she made the math, you know, she did quick maths.
2 + 2 is 4, -1, that's 3, quick maths.
And she said it'll cost like 120 billion to scrap all of this shit, but if she merges it, she'll gain double that and have 240 billion. And she's creating a new company called Gundam Inc., which is fan-fucking-tastic, you know? And I can only assume, like, part of Pale's development team is, what is her name? Belmeria, right? So, like, she's going to end up working in this new company since it's been funded now, so I guess the development teams have been bought and now they're going to be brought together. Cool. I also wrote down this name, which I can't read now because I wrote it so small. I think it says Godoy. That's the guy who was just, with Prospera. Guess that's like her bodyguard or whatever. So it'll be interesting to see in the next episode. It's a lot of things that I'm interested to see in the next episode, which honestly sounds like a pretty stuffed episode, but you know, it's things that I'm interested to see later on, you know, gradually, not everything all at once in the next episode, is to see the 2 teams, the 2 development teams now working with each other and how friggin' Miorine is actually going to do this whole shit, you know, like, you've got to get $240 billion. That's a lot of money. Well, actually, no, not $240 billion. That was the set mark, wasn't it? That was like the funding requirement, right? Like, she needed to get 75% of that. Hold on. Yeah, investment amount is $240 billion. Okay, so that was the amount to invest into, which is, good Jesus Christ, 75% of $240 billion? That's, oh my god. And also, I suppose Miorine really set a flag for herself when she said, nobody's ever have gotten any investment from this, you know? They're all, the formation line has always failed. So she really was out here setting a flag for herself for being that one person who actually gets the investment. So anyways, now that I've done answering my own question about the billions, yeah, I wonder how they're gonna do this with their new how Miorine is gonna do with this new company that she has now. Cool. You know what's funny? The fact that this anime has released what Suletta and Miorine's dress will look like, I suppose, and then there was also the name of Shall We Gundam. The amount of fucking art that I saw of this, of just them in like a ball and dancing or whatever, right? And then we didn't even get anything in this episode. Like I said, it really came in here with some expectation of dancing, but no, it was just business straight on. This was just a fucking expo with a GoFundMe, or it's like an expo slash Shark Tank, except instead of having just a row of rich billionaires, it's like a whole fucking group of people. So it's a GoFundMe, actually. So that's great, you know? People's mind really takes them wherever. But okay, I feel like I've talked my brain out for a moment, so I'm God, Suletta finding out that Ario is a Gundam this whole I totally forgot to talk about this too, where cause you know how Ario is fucking sentient because of the Cradle World, and like when Prospera was talking to Ario, and how Prospera is like, you're going to be the catalyst to this revenge plot and all that, and Ario was like, wait, hold on, Mom. Chill out. Where we've gotta... Did she call her mom in the Cradle World? I can't remember. I know that Ario counts Suletta as like sisters, you know, like their family and all that. But Ario was just like, oh, fucking chill out. If you want to do revenge, just use me. Don't fucking take Suletta into your plans. And so Ario is, you know, she's against this fucking sentient Gundam, but she can't talk, so she can't tell Suletta about it, so she just has to go with it anyways. And which also reminds me, because since Ario is sentient, and the fact that Suletta was about to lose against Elan, and then that red thing, you know, boom, and then did like a fucking big EMP blast or whatever, and Elan had seen, you know, the kids and all that through the forms of the quote-unquote drones. I can only assume that maybe if actual danger comes from Ario, she is able to control herself for the most part, or at the very least get her drones out and just start wrecking shit up. I don't know. That's the only thing I can assume, because Prospera doesn't seem all that scared, you know, with the fact that that Ario could be scrapped and all that. You know, she seems pretty chill. Maybe that's just a part of her mask, but like she seems pretty chill about it. Like, does she know that if Ario is going to get scrapped or whatever, Ario's just gonna jump out and just be like, all right, I'm out of here, see you later. Ario's just moving on her own. So that is an interesting thought, and yeah, like I said, I feel like I've talked my brain out for now, and if I have anything else to say, I will write it in the description down below. Thank you guys for sticking around, and I will see you guys in the next episode.